Hello, my name is Shirin Shamsi, and this is my book, Laila and the Sands of Time. And I would like to read you the first chapter. Prologue. Laila raced frantically toward the cry, a baby's cry that pierced the still silence of a moonless night. A wind picked up, rippling through the sand. Its soft whistle steadily increased in force, turning into a fierce and angry howl. It was as if all the forces in the universe cried out against a great injustice. Laila forged forward, determined. The wind whipped and lashed against her. She did not falter, though she felt the force of a sea of swirling sand. She braced herself, grabbing her jacket tighter as she pulled it over her head. A taste of bitter, gritty sand burned her throat. Her eyes stung from its sharpness. She waded on, squinting through the desert darkness. The cry grew closer and louder with each step forward. Almost there, she whispered, and the wailing wind carried her voice across the dunes and far into the night. Wrapped in a shroud, a small bundle lay on the sand. It moved. A scream ripped through the howling storm. Chapter 1, Packing. Laila pulled the closet open and dragged out her suitcase. In just a few hours, she would be leaving with her aunt and uncle. She stood gazing at the sunlight-dappled patterns as they danced across her bedroom wall and wondered if going on pilgrimage was even a good idea. She unzipped the suitcase and sighed. Would going all the way on pilgrimage, Umrah, fix everything that was wrong in her life? She was going for Baba, her father. It was what they had planned together before her whole world turned upside down. Laila glanced at the clock on the wall. It was only 6 a.m. She watched the seconds tick by. Her eyes clouded over as she remembered. Would that she could turn back time, back 2 years, before Baba remarried, before he got sick, before everything changed. But she was not a time traveler like Doctor Who, nor did she have a TARDIS. She stared out her bedroom window. Everything looked the same. Out front, the maple tree stood tall, with its bare branches spread wide. Spring was late again in Chicago. A tire swing moved in the soft early morning breeze, suspended by thick ropes. She turned away from the window, blinking back tears. A prayer mat sat folded in the corner, collecting dust, unused since Baba died. She had missed Fajr, the morning prayer again. The thought tugged at her heart, for she didn't want to let Baba down. Her gaze came to rest upon a photograph on the nightstand beside her bed. A framed picture of Baba with Laila on her 13th birthday, taken before he was diagnosed with lung cancer. Baba's arm rested on her shoulder, his face lit up with joy. He looked so alive, yet the cancer had eaten away at him, and within 4 months he would be gone. Laila's smile was wide in the photograph, her eyes sparkling. She decided she could never feel happy again, as she was in that photograph. Picking up the photograph, she wrapped it tenderly in the soft folds of her mother's hijab, then slid it into her backpack. She would take this memento of her mother to wear on pilgrimage. Laila pulled herself up and rummaged in her closet, grabbing a shirt and jeans to wear to school. It was the last day before spring break. Tiptoeing slowly down the stairs, Laila hoped no one had woken up yet. She avoided her stepmom when she could. Raisa was already there in the kitchen when Laila walked in. She greeted Laila with a smile. She stood tall and slim, a shawl draped around her shoulders. "Salaam alaikum, Laila," she said. "You're up early." Layla's stepmom stood by the stove warming up some milk for baby Naila. "I need to pack before school," said Laila, as a frown furrowed her forehead. She turned away, impatient, as she grabbed a glass and filled it with water. She gulped it down quickly and left the kitchen before Raisa could ask anything more. Running back upstairs, Laila stood, staring at her suitcase, then shrugged and decided she would pack later. She grabbed her backpack and trudged downstairs, slipping on her shoes and jacket. She breathed a sigh, muttered a goodbye, and left the house. At least on pilgrimage, she will be away from them. She had to get away. It was hard enough without Baba, but worse having the daily reminder of her stepmom and Naila. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed chapter 1 of Laila and the Sands of Time. Thank you. Bye-bye.